can you guys introduce yourselves?
All right. My name is Artur Kilvason. I'm senior producer, EVE Online.
And I'm Brandon Lorino, executive producer of Dust 514.
So the first question is, when do you plan to release the game?
So we're in closed beta right now, and we'll be moving to open beta very soon. Basically, we don't view this sort of like a traditional console title. We're doing a true beta on a console for the first time ever, really. Of course, for us as a company, but also there's never really been a true beta like this on console where we really get community feedback and iterate on the game in close collaboration with the community. So in terms of how we're releasing the game, it's more like if you're familiar with how an online game, an MMO, is released on PC. We're iterating, we're getting lots of feedback with the community, and we do a lot to incorporate the community into our development process. And when we feel like that's exactly where we want it, then we'll move it into the live EVE universe.
Следующий вопрос. Как вы думаете, вообще игра станет киберспортом? То есть сейчас все игры двигаются в сторону киберспорта, и будет ли ваш проект киберспортом?
So, do you think like the game has any chances to become a successful esports thing? Because like this is the trend that we're seeing right now.
Yeah. So we have some very exciting concepts for esports. So if you're familiar with EVE Online, it's a true living universe where everyone in EVE Online on PC and everyone in Dust 514 on PS3 are logged into the same server at one time. So it's a true living online universe, and there's social infrastructures, there's love, there's hate, there's war, there is peace. There's more war though. But as part of it, you know, people have created even separate games. So there's, people go and have a poker club and tournaments related to EVE. They wager ISK, which is our in-game currency, on it. So there's always been this sort of culture of it. We have a very exciting concept that we're working on, which is called Gladiator. So the reason why Dust is becoming a part of the EVE universe in terms of the story is that basically this technology was found to create immortal soldiers. So at the time of death, they can transfer consciousness into another clone and create a replica of themselves. This set of esports stuff is what we're calling Gladiator mode. So of course, if you had an immortal soldier, you could use it for war, but it's also possible that you would also use it for a gladiator sport. So we tend to actually create arenas in the EVE universe where this sport takes place, and that'll be, you know, right now the stuff that we have in Dust is more on the planet surface, these sort of big open battles for planetary conquest, and the game modes around that have to make sense in terms of if you were actually having a war. So right now the game modes that we support with that are a team deathmatch, right, because there's not really a war with 50 parties just running around like crazy at once. Maybe there is, but you know, and then there's a skirmish, which is more of an objective capture mode, which again would sort of thematically make sense in the context of war. But in terms of a solo deathmatch or capture the flag or these kinds of game modes, those are the sort of game modes that we're going to support with Gladiator arenas. And then we intend to also support things like spectator cams and of course tournaments. And then we even want the matches to be viewable across EVE Online and Dust 514 and allow players to wager on those matches using ISK and items as well. So we've got a lot of plans for esports in the EVE universe, and sort of what's fun about it is esports in terms of gamers in the real world being able to use this infrastructure for esports, but it will actually become a true sport in the EVE universe as well.
It's an immersive part of the world, and we have considerable experience doing this with, for example, what we've done in EVE Online with the Alliance tournament, where players that are usually sort of battling each other in space for region control get together and have this sort of tournament where they're playing each other for money and direct cash payouts. So this is something we've done in EVE, and I think it's going to translate very well over to Dust, having this esport tournament that's actually taking place inside the game, not in an instance, but as a part of the game and as a part of the more spectator sport aspect of it.
Планируется ли делать еще какие-либо игры во вселенной EVE Online? То есть это, например, шутер, будет ли там стратегия в реальном времени или песочница какая-то?
So do you have any plans for other games in the EVE universe? For example, like Dust is a shooter and EVE is a space sim. Do you have like plans for like real-time strategies?
So,
Of course, we have a lot of ideas.
Plenty of ideas,
but right now we're focused on the second one.
Yeah.
Once we really polish the second one and we move that along, maybe then we'll start talking about what a third one might be.
And because of the CCP development strategy, which is essentially gaming as a service, we never stopped developing our games. EVE Online has been live now for 9 years. It's still in full development. We do 2 free expansions every single year. Dust is going to be operated in a very similar manner.
Yeah.
So it's not like we can just finish and package up one project and move on to the next. This is gaming as a service for us, and it's a continuous development cycle.
Yeah, that's a great point. If we were to make a third project, it means spinning up an entire other service.
Yeah, and another studio.
And another studio and everything.
Comes with that. So that's a major investment for us. But I mean, the EVE Online universe. The EVE Online universe allows for so much gameplay in it because we've created this immense science fiction world and science fiction simulator. There is room for pretty much any gaming experience within that.
И последний вопрос, вернее, их как бы 2 будет. Первый, планируется ли локализация игры на русский язык? Вот. И второй, расскажите немножко о взаимодействии кланов, то есть EVE Online и шутера.
So, first question is, do you have any plans for a Russian localization of the game?
Yeah, it's already playable here at ИгроМир, the Russian localization of Dust 514. But again, we're in closed beta and that's a work in progress, so not every piece of text and voiceover and everything is fully localized yet. But yes, if you download Dust right now and your PS3 is set to Russian, you'll, by and large, most of it is localized. I'd say it's around 80%.
And the second question, could you please tell a little bit more about the interaction of corporations in EVE Online and Dust?
Alright, so I'll start this off a bit. So essentially, because everybody's playing on the exact same server at the same time, and the major backend systems are shared, this allows us to do pretty unique things, like having the Dust mercenaries that are playing on the PS3 actually be in the same corporations as the EVE players on the PC. They're also using the same market system, they're using the same chat system, the voice chat system, etc., etc. So they're not just interacting, they are engaged in the same corporations and in the same actions. And I foresee in the future, when Dust moves to the live server, that we're going to have corporations that have a Dust-specific segment of it, where they want to have the best of the best Dust mercenaries recruited to them, and sort of make sure that they keep them happy so that they don't backstab them just a little bit.
An army.
An army of sorts. And that's just the sort of social interaction part of it. And then you have the direct link, which is going to be a very exciting thing for Bentham to develop that.
Yeah, through corporations, you're able to actually collaborate on strategic objectives in the EVE universe, particularly corporation versus corporation battles. And now we've just introduced this week these corporation versus corporation battles that affect faction warfare in the EVE universe. So there's 4 major empires in EVE: Amar, Minmatar, Galente, and Caldari. And you can accept contracts on behalf of them, and this also connects with faction warfare objectives in EVE Online. And a corporation, many of our corporations strategize to fulfill faction warfare objectives for one of the empires in particular, or sometimes multiple, depending on their goals. And now Dust can participate in that, and they can participate in faction warfare together. So the way that Dust is structured is we have high security space, which is purely NPC driven, and that's where it's only match-made battles and it's all fair and balanced, and friendly fire is off, and it's sort of the noob experience. One step beyond that are these corp battles, corp versus corporation, that affect faction warfare in low security space. And then the next frontier that we're going to introduce is no security space, which is, or what we call nullsec, or 0.0, which is fully player-owned, player-controlled, and player-driven planetary conquest. And that's sort of the most hardcore end of the spectrum. So it sort of ranges from a very easy to get into, just jump in and jump out shooter experience in high security space, all the way to the most hardcore shooter ever made, where friendly fire's on, and if you don't show up with a full roster on your team or recruit mercenaries to come help fight in a no security or nullsec space battle, you're going to get destroyed.
But there's also the option for you to, as a Dust mercenary, have coordinated a battle with the EVE Online players. where you can actually help each other out, where the dust mercenary can pop up a beacon and say, you guys need to help me and you need to do an orbital strike right here. And then the online players can move into position in space and actually fire down on the planet, and it has real-time impact, real-time killing dust mercenaries on that planet on behalf of their dust mercenary friends. And later on they're going to be able to, vice versa, dust mercenaries build an orbital artillery and shoot up with the spaceships. And that's, I think, that's a fairly unique thing, being able to shoot bullets across platform, across genre, across game, and kill people in real time and kill people on the other side. I mean, that's who's doing that? Oh, us. Yeah. Right. Okay. So, hi everybody. My name is Artur Kilosson. I'm a senior producer here online. Hello to all of our fans at MMORPG.ua.
And I'm Brendan Marino, executive producer of Dust 514. And hello, MMORPG.ua.